Yesterday, with the practice of Satipatthana and to practice to guard one's mind with vigilant mindfulness of whatever arises, as the Buddha has taught, we note every arising in the object at the moment of its arising with energetic aim, cultivating mindfulness and concentration. We are bound to cultivate knowledge. That is, we come to understand the conditionality of psychophysical phenomena. Because one knows the truth, there is no wrong knowing. Just like when the light comes, darkness goes, as is given in this expression, Vijyopada Avijja Nirodho. Vijja is realize the knowledge of the truth, or just knowledge of the discernment of mind and body, and the conditionality which arises continuously in the course of the practice of meditation. Then it will overcome, by knowing correctly, it overcomes ignorance or unknowing. There are two kinds of ignorance. One is simple unknowing, and another is wrongly knowing. So these two kinds of ignorance are said to be overcome with the cultivation of true knowledge. When we say the ignorance is gone, means not just disappearing, but with the practice of Satipatthana, prior to the practice of Satipatthana, we could not activate mindfulness nor concentration, so we cannot cultivate knowledge of the truth. Now with the practice of Satipatthana, with full commitment, we are knowing the true nature of the objects. In this way, the mind is said to be illumined. There's light in the mind. And at that moment, when light comes on the object, one knows the truth, that's Vijja, at that very moment. These two kinds of ignorance have no chance of arising. By not giving a chance to arise, they are said to be overcome or eradicated. And this kind of knowledge continues to happen. As much as knowledge continues, the ignorance or unknowing will be overcome, will disappear. Because we know the truth, there's no wrong knowing. There's no such thing as wrongly knowing in respect of conditionality, that things are causeless. And when there is wrong knowing, when there's no more wrong knowing, there will be no more wrong acceptance or faith, because one is seeing by one's own personal experience. Previously we are not decided, we could not come to a decision, we are wavering. Now we are seeing things in a clear-cut manner. We clarify things, we know things, so that there will be no more wrong knowledge, no more wrong faith or wrongly believing. When there is no wrong knowledge, one knows rightly. When there is no wrong belief, there is right belief. In this way, with the practice of Satipatthana, one cultivates knowledge of the realities. And such kind of knowledge is not through fantasies or imaginations, or from what the books say, or from what the teachers say. It is your real knowledge, the correct knowledge, through your own personal experience. When we say to ourselves whether it is correct or not, we are not very sure, we are not accepting it, we are not coming to a definite decision. What is that? In what respect do we have that kind of wavering or indecisiveness? It is known as Saddha Vuttu, it is object which is worthy of faith, or merely object of faith. Now, as regards the Saddha Vutu, objects which are worthy of faith include the Buddha himself with his qualities. The Buddha is the object of faith. And the Dhamma that is preached has the quality of Svakarta, meaning well preached is the Dhamma. That is also the object of faith, or object worthy of faith, Saddha Vutu. Because it is object of faith, because as we practice, as the cause, by practicing, which is the cause, we realize the benefits as the effect, the benefit of the practice. In this way, the Dhamma is neither in excess or in deficiency. It is neither deficient nor excessive. Just practice sila and try to find out what is the effect. There will be no wrongdoing by body and speech. Your physical, verbal behaviors will become pure, blameless, graceful, gentle, and come to possess lovable quality. By sustaining the precepts, sila, you are undertaking it. As you undertake it, you are bound to realize such immediate benefit, that is, abstaining from wrongdoing by body and speech. In this way, the cause and effect, the practice and the benefit are in keeping with each other. They are said to be concurrent. Now, just see the result of the practice of Satipatthana. As you note every arising object with energetic aim, cultivating the three mental states, namely Viriya, Sati, Samadhi, energy, mindfulness and concentration, you are bound to realize the benefit of the practice, namely with the exertion of energy, Viriya, you are blocking the path to unwholesomeness or defilements. Instead, you are opening the way to wholesomeness. And in another sense, you are not accepting the defilements or the impurities. They are said to be overcome. And with the activation of mindfulness, you are realizing the quality of the mindfulness, namely the quality of protection from impurities. And with the cultivation of concentration, your mind falls calm and collected. They are said to be collected and unified on an object, so that you feel very calm. And such are the immediate benefit of the practice. In this way, the cause and the effect, the practice and the result are in keeping with each other. They are said to be concurrent. And by this we will be free from hindrances to progress, known as nivaranas, so that the mind becomes tamed, becomes gentle, and it continues to arise as much as you undertake these Viriya, Sati, Samadhi. You will be also free from obsessive defilements, known as Parirutthana Kilesas, the impurities which can arise in your mind. You will be free from that. By being free from that, you are said to be calm and peaceful. Then your behaviors will become lovable, they become desirable. Such also is the concurrence of cause and effect, the practice and the result. And as you practice further, you cultivate knowledge. As knowledge arises, seeing the mind and body, that you come to a decision that there is only mind and body and nothing else. And as you understand the conditionality of mind and body, you also come to understand that there is only the cause and effect and nothing else. In this way, you have faith in the object of faith, namely Saddha Vuttu, so that there will be no wavering, no skeptical doubt. You are seeing the truth, you come to make a decision to yourself that this is correct. Then you become satisfied with the practice. In this way, you develop what is known as belief. That is one part of Saddha, faith and confidence. That is Saddha Dimokha, your resolute belief in the object of faith. And as this Saddha, faith and confidence, enter your stream of consciousness, the sediments, as we discussed yesterday, the impurities are like sediments, the defilements are like sediments, they settle down and clarify the liquid. So when you are cultivating faith and confidence, then the hindrances to progress, known as nivaranas, are said to settle down, or they come down as sediments. Previously, the mind is not so, it's not clear, it is impure, and there are much sediments, mental sediments in your mind, because when these hindrances to progress enter your stream of consciousness, your mind becomes impure. Now, when this Saddha comes in, the sediments fall down. At this moment, the sediments will come down, clarifying the liquid, so that the hindrances to progress are no more. Instead, there will be clarity of the mind. And this way, this is cultivating clarity. And when you combine these two things, believing and clarity, it becomes clear faith. And we discussed also the qualities of faith and confidence in terms of natural characteristic and function. And only this kind of knowledge arises only as a result of the practice. You come to possess these two factors, namely believing and clarity, giving rise to clear faith. And when yogis undertake the practice, especially before they undertake this practice of Satipatthana, there are a lot of sediments in their mind. The mind is said to be giddy or dizzy with impurities. Even if they undertake the practice in the beginning of the practice, these hindrances to progress are bound to enter their stream of consciousness. When they undertake the practice and cultivate knowledge, especially when they understand the psycho-conditionality of psychophysical phenomena, then they come to believe, cultivating faith and confidence, Saddha. When Saddha enters your stream of consciousness, there will be no more doubts, there will be no more wavering, there will be no more vicikesha. They will not be like before, unlike before. They are free, their mind will be free of sediments. Hence, this quality is known as Agalusi Pachupattana. It becomes manifested in the yogi's mind that they are free of impurities. This approximate cause of this Saddha, faith and confidence is Saddha Vuttu. That is the object or body of faith, or the object of faith. Saddha Vuttu Vidathana, the nearest cause. So, when the yogis start the practice, they will be able to cultivate faith and confidence in a very gross or rough manner, and they are said to awaken faith and confidence in the first place. Then they develop this faith and confidence with the practice. As they practice systematically, as their noting mind is concurrent with the object of attention, and as they deepen this momentary concentration, they are bound to see the mind and body, as a discernment of mind and body, and then they are bound to understand the conditionality of mind and body in stages. Later, with the continued practice, they will see the arising and passing away of these objects, and whatever arises and passes away cannot be satisfactory, and they will understand also that there is no soul or no self. Things arise at their own, and they are not controllable, they are not governable. In this way, you are cultivating knowledge. Knowledge opens up. Now, as you understand these realities, such as mind and body, and cause and effect, you will not hold any more wrong views, such as the view of the existence of individual self or individual soul, or supreme self or supreme soul, which is controlling the individual self or soul. In this way, you become free of such wrong views. In this way, in the beginning, you must have heard from others or read books about these objects of faith, such as the three gems, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. Even if one does not pay homage to the Buddha, one can pay homage to the Dhamma and take Dhamma as Saddha, the object of faith. Hence, the Dhamma is considered as the Saddha is the proximate. Saddha becomes the Dhamma in this case becomes the proximate cause for faith and confidence. Previously, you might have heard of the three gems and the result of karma and karma result, such as good becomes good, bad becomes bad, and because of the past deeds, you've come into existence in the present, and because of your present deeds, you will be reborn again in future existences. In this way, you come to believe such things. Now, at this very moment, you are practicing the Dhamma, and with the Dhamma, you now understand with your own practice that you are able to overcome wrongdoing by body, speech and mind. This would be sufficient for faith and confidence of the present. With the practice of Satipatthana, you are bound to get 7 benefits, beginning with the purity of mind. That is, as declared in the beginning of the great discourse on the foundation of mindfulness. And knowing this through books or what it is said in the Dhamma talks, you have some sort of knowledge, some sort of Saddha, faith and confidence. And then you will say to yourself, alas, this practice is significant. It brings about 7 benefits. Although they are simple, they are significant. In this way, you awaken faith and confidence, Saddha. That is, at this point, you are not practicing Satipatthana as yet. You understand this or accept this through the knowledge by learning, Sutta Maya Jnana. You are accepting it by just learning it from others, not yet with the bhavana practice or not yet with the knowledge of mental development, bhavana maya jnana. So when you accept this, you have desire to undertake the practice. So you come to the meditation center and start the practice of meditation, and as you note every arising object, and as you are able to be concurrent with the object, you exert energy, then you are undertaking it in practice, you are activating mindfulness, deepening concentration, And as much as your noting mind is concurrent with the object to be noted, you are bound to see or cultivate the true nature of the objects, cultivate knowledge, beginning with the discernment of mind and body, and then you come to understand the cause and effect of this mind and body. In this way, as you continue to practice, you develop faith and confidence about the result of the benefit of the practice of Satipatthana, that it is correct. My mind is being purified with the practice. In this way, you will come to a decision that is instilling faith in yourself through your own personal experience, such as Saddha, faith and confidence. In this way, this Satipatthana practice, which is the Dhamma, has become the Saddha object of faith, or object worthy of faith. With faith in the practice, that is Satipatthana Bhavana, which is also the Dhamma, you come to accept that this is something to have faith in, that is Saddha Vuttu. As you continue to practice, you are cultivating knowledge, and as much as you cultivate knowledge, you are bound to progress. Your faith and confidence is bound to progress by leaps and bounds, so that your faith and your Saddha, faith and faith, the previous Saddha will be continuous with the succeeding Saddha, and it will grow and become cultivated and developed, reaching the maturity of the practice. In this way, you are said to come to possess faith and confidence. Such is how this Satipatthana, which is the Dhamma, becomes the Saddha Vuttu. Because you know that this Dhamma, in this case Satipatthana practice, is the real, genuine object of faith. And this is quite obvious. And you come to confirmation by yourself, because the Saddha Vuttu is genuine or correct. Just as when you are told that a red stone is ruby, because it is not genuine, you don't believe it, because it may be an imitation, not genuine one. But when somebody brings to you a genuine ruby, because it is an object of faith, or object worthy of faith, because it is genuine, you believe in it. That is your correct belief, correct faith, because the Saddha Vuttu, the object of faith, is genuine. You come to accept it, and you can compare in this way. That this also, as regards this faith and confidence, Saddha has many causes, and among the causes, the genuineness or correctness of Saddha Vuttu is the main cause for the arising of faith and confidence. As we cultivate knowledge, such as the knowledge of the conditionality of mind and body, you are seeing the true nature of objects, you come to acceptance and resolution, and this is Saddha. As soon as Saddha enters your stream of consciousness, these kilesa and nivaranas, like sediments, are bound to settle down, clarifying the mind, so that you become free of, your mind becomes free of impurities, free of defilements, and in this way your mind becomes beautiful, not being ugly. Your mind becomes very bright with beauty. And what is the cause of this? The cause is the entry of faith and confidence, Saddha. As soon as Saddha comes into your mind becomes beautiful and bright. That is because the faith and confidence is genuine. It is genuine faith and confidence which causes purity and beauty in your mind. And your mind is said to be decorated or purified by means of Saddha. And as you are able to activate mindfulness, as we discuss about the quality of mindfulness, it has the characteristic, it is a manifestation of protection. It will protect your mind from impurities, so that all the impurities are ugly. All the impurities can cause ugliness in the mind. Because there is no means of ugliness, they are prevented. Because your mind is protected, your mind becomes beautiful, so that you will be fulfilled. Your mind will be accompanied with non-greed, known as alobha, which is a reverse of greed, and non-hatred, dosa, which is a reverse of dosa, and knowledge, which is a reverse of ignorance. All these beautiful mental states will enter your stream of consciousness, because as soon as you are free of this skeptical doubt, vicikiccha, and your mind becomes beautified. And this is known as sobhana, the beauty. Your mind becomes beautiful as soon as this sobhana cetasikas, or beautiful mental states, enter your stream of consciousness. Your mind becomes beautiful and properly shaped. Hence, with the faith and confidence, your mind becomes purified, so that there will be no ugliness. Instead, it will become beautiful. With the practice of correct method of practice, you are free of impurities, so that your mind becomes pure and beautiful. Such is the result of the practice of the correct method of practice. In this way, the cause and the effect become relevant, and what you have learned from the books or from the literatures are implemented into practice. This also is the relevancy of the practice. And also with the practice, you are free from these impurities such as greed, hatred and delusion. In this way your mind becomes purified. This also becomes very obvious. So such is the essence or meaning of Svakata, well preached is the Dhamma. That is, the practice and the realization are concurrent or relevant. Now you want to undertake the practice of meditation, Satipatthana, and become free of these impurities such as craving, aversion and delusion. This becomes very obvious, and the one who undertakes the practice and realizes this benefit is known as Supatipanna. That is, the one who walks the path of the Dhamma, or the path of Satipatthana practice, who realizes this purity of the mind. And this also becomes very consistent. And as this Supatipanna, the one who undertakes the practice or walks the path of the Dhamma, practices, is going to realize, come to possess the quality of Sukhata, that is well gone, well done, done in a beautiful way. Such will be the result of the practice. In the world there are many faiths and beliefs and views and denominations. There were such things during the Buddha's time or prior to the enlightenment of the Buddha. At one time, one Ajiva, a non-believer, came to Elder Ananda and asked this question: Venerable Sir, whose Dhamma is Svakata? That means whose teaching is whose teaching possesses this quality of Svakata? That means well preached is the Dhamma. And in this world is who are these Supatipanna? That means who are those individuals who walk the path of the Dhamma? And then the third question is, who are those individuals who have done well? That is, who have done in a pleasant or beautiful condition, beautiful way. And the elder Ananda did not answer this question directly, but he asked the question back to the questioner and asked him what he thought about it. And the elder Ananda said, there are these individuals who teach to abandon craving, aversion and delusion. And such individuals' teachings are svagata. They are consistent as regards the practice and the realization, and they are consistent as regards cause and effect. And what do you think about it? And that the questioner said, yes, correct. Those people who preached to abandon this craving, aversion and delusion are svagata. That means well preached is the Dhamma. And as regards another second question, Elder Ananda said this: there are these individuals who walk the path of the Dhamma correctly to overcome these impurities such as craving, aversion and delusion, which are the causes of suffering. And do you think such individuals as those who walk the path of the Dhamma systematically, or those who do not walk the path of the Dhamma systematically? What do you think? And that the non-believer agreed with Elder Ananda that those who walk the path, those who practice to overcome craving, aversion and delusion are the individuals who walk the path of the Dhamma correctly. If you undertake the practice and walk the path of the Dhamma correctly, such a person is Sabutipāna, and the motive is to overcome the impurities, namely craving, aversion and delusion. And in this way one walks the path of the Dhamma correctly. By walking the path, one is, even during the practice of meditation, you are overcoming craving on a part-time basis, and you are overcoming hatred, anger and hatred on a part-time basis, and you are overcoming ignorance on a part-time basis, because you are knowing correctly. There is no more unknowing. In this way, as the noting mind is going well, you are bound to overcome these things. It is quite obvious. And later, with the practice, continued practice and progressing along the path of insight, one becomes fulfilled with the practice, reaching the maturity, realizing the path and fruition of knowledge of the noble ones, beginning with the first super-mundane path. Then one becomes beautiful, one's work becomes really beautiful and proper. And if one continues to practice and realize the second super-mundane path and third path and the final and arahantship, then one will be able to uproot these impurities to the point of no return. And such a person is sukata. That means one is well done, one is doing in a good way, in a beautiful way. And isn't such a person done in a good way, sukata? And the questioner, the non-believer, agreed with the elder Ananda, saying that such a person is sukata. In this way, there are these questions and answers of Ananda, elder Ananda, and the questioner. Nowadays also, there are many kinds of views, denominations, and beliefs. Even among Buddhists, there are many kinds of beliefs, not to mention other denominations. So one should analyze these, the genuineness of these views in this way. In this way, there are these three questions and answers, and one should analyze these different kinds of views, even among Buddhists, whether the views held by us are correct or not. And we should also find out about the quality of the person who preached the Dhamma, whether such a Dhamma is to overcome the impurities such as craving, aversion and delusion, and what is the motive of teachings, what is the motive of practice, whether the practice is to overcome these impurities, whether one is the Vipassana, that is one who walked the path of the Dhamma correctly and realizing the benefit of the practice, such as Sukkata, were preached the Dhamma. One should be able to Sukkata well done. So in this way one should investigate and analyze, and also one has to analyze and find out whether this by reciting or chanting, or by just listening and by just thinking, imagination, intellectualization, is faith and confidence, is the genuine faith and confidence. One should be able to understand this, and this will be discussed tomorrow. One should be able to understand this, and this will be discussed tomorrow. One should be able to understand this, and this will be discussed.